April 16, 1912, North Atlantic Ocean. Dawn breaks over a flat, indifferent sea. The ice has drifted away, leaving behind a silence so complete it feels deliberate. On the deck of the RMS Carpathia, wireless operator Harold Bride stands wrapped in a borrowed coat, staring at the water where the Titanic vanished only hours before. He is exhausted, frostbitten, and alive, a fact that still feels unreal. Below him, more than 700 survivors wake to the truth of what they have endured. They are packed into corridors, wrapped in blankets, clutching borrowed cups of tea. Some cry openly. Others sit perfectly still, eyes fixed on nothing. The screams from the night before are gone, but their echo lingers, trapped in memory. Bride knows what the world does not yet fully understand: over 1,500 people are dead. Families. Crews. Children. The greatest ship ever built is now a grave resting 2.5 miles below them. As Carpathia turns south toward New York, lifeboats float past in the distance, empty, overturned, their wooden sides scraped by ice. No bodies remain on the surface. The ocean has already claimed them. In the wireless room, Bride begins transmitting the first survivor accounts. Across the Atlantic, newspapers hesitate. The Titanic was declared unsinkable. How could this be true? In New York, crowds gather outside White Star Line offices, scanning incomplete passenger lists, praying for familiar names. In Southampton, Liverpool, Belfast, cities tied to the ship by labor and pride, church bells ring without explanation. Aboard Carpathia, the survivors begin to talk. They speak of the moment the engines stopped. Of a strange calm. Of music playing as lifeboats were lowered. Of officers with guns, enforcing order as the deck tilted. They speak of husbands who lifted wives into boats and stepped back. Of children crying for fathers who promised to follow and never did. Margaret Molly Brown moves through the ship, urging survivors to eat, to drink, to stay awake. She argues with crew members to turn back and search for more victims. The captain refuses. The sea is too dangerous, the risk too great. The decision is final. The dead will not be retrieved. By afternoon, the emotional shock turns inward. Survivors begin counting who is missing. Sisters realize they are alone. Parents whisper names into the wind. Men stare at their hands, replaying choices made in minutes that will haunt them forever. Below decks, steerage passengers huddle together, speaking in dozens of languages. Many had never seen the ocean before Titanic. Now the ocean has taken everything from them. The world responds unevenly. In London, the Admiralty questions how such a disaster was possible in an age of steel and progress. In Washington, officials quietly begin discussing maritime law. But aboard Carpathia, politics feel obscene. Here, history is not being debated, it is being mourned. As night falls on April 16, the sea remains calm. Too calm. It feels like an accusation. Some survivors refuse to sleep, afraid the darkness will return them to the freezing water. Others dream of voices calling from below the waves. No one escapes unchanged. The Titanic is gone. But what people saw the day after she sank was not just wreckage or empty sea, it was the sudden realization that modernity had limits, that technology could fail, and that the ocean, unchanged by human ambition, still decided who lived and who disappeared without a trace. And as Carpathia continues toward land, carrying the living away from the dead, one truth settles heavily over every survivor on board. The disaster did not end when the ship went down. It ended when the world finally understood what had been lost.